with some jams. I like it.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up.
All right, welcome. Hey, this is Craig at RAM, Real Estate and Mortgage Podcast. Beyond the bank and beyond the broker. I'm Craig Steele with Found It Realty. At RAM, I strive to educate, incentivize, and take the confusion away from mortgages and real estate transactions. Subscribe on YouTube, take advantage of my 32 years of experience in the industry. I do have a treat for you today, though. Today we have the man, the myth, the legend, Riley Rockhill. Riley Rockhill is one of the top agents at Edge Homes, and he's graciously agreed to come on here and, talk about Edge, talk about himself, and talk about the market itself. So with that, Riley, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad. I called you last week and you said, hold on, I'm in an MRI. I can't quite talk here. The magnetic resonant imaging is going off and I can't quite, what the heck was going on with that?
Dude, I've been back and forth with back issues for a couple years. So had a surgery in June and they said, don't do anything for 6 months. Or they said, do some stuff, but just be really careful for 6 months. And that was 5 months ago.
And so then you're out bucking hay bales and
Exactly.
you're skiing and snowmobiling, right?
Yeah, and that's what my wife was saying. She's like, you just did too much, and then I was a little sore, so they told me go in and get an MRI, just kind of see where things were at.
Wow.
But it's looking pretty good. The findings of the MRI was, yes, you way overdid it after surgery, but it's nothing that can't be fixed by just some rest and a little bit of anti-inflammatory. So I think we're good.
Well, I'm hopeful for the best, and obviously anytime you have any kind of surgical procedures or anything like that, you obviously got to be careful. But and since we are a bunch of desk jockeys and we do a bunch of business behind the desk, sometimes that's not very good either.
No, yeah, sitting's the new. What did they tell me? Sitting is the new smoking. So
yeah, sitting's not good, and it will definitely mess you up. So get up and stretch every now and then. So if I get up and stretch to show off my shirt, then
we're the Craig shirt. Yeah, exactly.
Vince was taken for some reason. I kept looking for him, and they said they're all out. So I grabbed this one.
I like it.
Anyway. Kind of what I'd like to talk about also is, there's a lot of builder incentives now, and clients, we've been through about 3 years of just some of the nastiest rates and everything in the last 40 years, and I've done this for 32, so I feel like I'm very confident in saying it was pretty bad. Yeah. But builders stepped up and they did a bunch of really cool things. We're still building less homes than we need in the United States for sure. Utah has more people moving in than moving out on an annual basis still. There's still, I think, a lack of inventory, although it's kind of catching up a little bit. But being one of the top salesmen at Edge Homes, who builds a ton of homes a year, and we'll get into those statistics, what kind of incentives are they doing? Did they do it on a month-to-month basis, or are they doing a year-end type of product? What's going on with Edge right now as far as incentives for buyers?
Yeah, so it's honestly basically like any business. Every month they're seeing okay, where do we need to be at over the last 15 years that Edge has been in business. For example, January, February, March are generally really busy months for us, whereas June, July, and August are generally really slow. So they kind of see, okay, how many homes do we need to be at this month, and they reevaluate every week. And so we'll see, hey, if they're wanting to offload a little more inventory, we'll see those incentives go up to 9. Right now we're at 9%.
Wow.
Absolutely.
9%. Yeah. So 9% seller concessions.
Yep.
So let's just break that down. Let's just take a $400,000 loan or purchase price. And I don't know your purchase prices because you've got a bunch of different communities, but at $400,000, 9% is $36,000.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And yeah, exactly. And so sometimes you'll see that, so I believe it was September we dropped it to 7% because we're hey, look, we're busier. We're outselling how many homes we're building, so we're going to drop it. Well, in December, everyone's on the holidays. We're well, if there are people out looking, we want to make sure that those people are buying Edge Homes.
Maximize
so let's raise it back up to 9. But yeah, it's crazy. And generally what people do with it is, as you know, loan officer, you can't use all 9% to do rate buy down. You can't do $36,000 in rate incentive generally.
No. But still, 9%. I mean, I just was kind of looking at rates a little bit earlier today on, both ARMs, FHA, and some conventional. But if, the average rate is around 6.25 or something like that, $36,000 goes an awful long way for a buy down. And granted, there's a cap on how much you can do. And then closing costs to boot. So, I mean, I would assume most clients right now with that kind of incentive are really coming in with maybe a $500 earnest money. I mean, you guys obviously collect more up front because you want to tie them in to make sure that they go through with the transaction. But still, they're not coming in with a ton of money.
No, and I do a lot of, I mean, if you're coming in with 5%, generally what I'm seeing is that's what you're bringing. You're not bringing any money. Like, generally, now some people want to do like different stuff. I've actually done a ton of 0% loans this year, like with the Utah first-time home buyer, stuff like that. Those I've seen a lot of, zero money down loans, which is kind of crazy. And
that's the $450,000 new construction and below, correct?
Yeah.
Because the new first-time home buyer doesn't work over that. Yeah. That's incredible.
Zero on the CD, it's kind of wild. I'm like, I didn't even know if you think about like the 0% down, like you go buy a mattress or maybe a vehicle, you see 0% down, but not a house.
Not a house. And houses are expensive. There's no doubt about it. So you guys work in a lot of different communities. Do you have any idea off the top of your head how many homes Edge builds on an annual basis?
Generally, we will sell about 1,200.
About 1,200 houses. That's a lot of houses.
Yeah, that's what
100 houses a month is a ton of houses.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it fluctuates. In January, we're gonna try to do 170, but in June we might only do 60 or 70 because people are on vacation. But yeah, roughly 1,200. That will fluctuate. Sometimes we're at 1,400, and then our lowest year was that year that the interest rates spiked up, and I think we did about 1,050.
Okay. So as rates have been coming down over the last 3-4 months. And of course, anytime the Fed says, oh, let's lower rates, we see a spike in rates, and it's happened the last 2 times. This third time it actually didn't. Rates kind of moderated and have stayed the same. Although over the last couple of weeks I've seen them edging up just a little bit. When that happens, when rates start to drop down a little bit, are these incentives going away possibly?
Yeah, well, I mean, it completely depends on the demand. Like when people start coming in groves, we almost like a weekly basis. Once we see people start coming, those incentives start coming down.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I've seen them drop it from 9% to 5% in that week, just because we're like, well, this is a busy time of year. There's a lot of people coming out. We're dropping it down a little bit.
So what you're saying, and let's look right at the screen here right now. What you're saying to the consumer is, if you want to buy a house, Edge Homes is offering a 9% concession. Get your keister into the sales office. Call Craig, he'll drive you out. We'll meet with Riley. We'll go through all the options, and let's go get you a house.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, those incentives can drop anytime. As soon as people start coming to buy houses again, those incentives are going away for sure.
Wow, but seriously, 9% seller concessions that goes towards closing costs or help with the buy down of a rate is unheard of. Yeah. I don't know any other builder in the entire state that's doing that.
No, I don't either. No.
That's pretty incredible. That is pretty incredible. So tell us a little bit about yourself, though. To me, you seem kind of like a farm kid. Is that true?
Yeah.
And that maybe is just because personal knowledge I know of what you just did. But are you a farm kid?
I am.
You're from the sticks of Utah?
Yeah, I am. I grew up in Camas. I still
beautiful area.
I lived down here for 10 years, and I recently moved back up to Camas. I still come down here just about every day. I grew up doing hay and cattle, and that's kind of what I continue to do. So anytime I'm not doing real estate, or I'm not like snowmobiling or something, it's hay and cattle. And it's funny, my wife just says you're doing way too many things all the time, but it's fun to do all of it. So.
Well, what do they say also? Idle hands are the devil's playground. So if you're not doing something, you're probably getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what most of us do.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
Might as well be doing something. And I know Edge treats you right, and you do sell a lot of homes. Where are the communities? And kind of let's do a breakdown. You probably got townhomes, maybe condos, regular homes. Give me kind of a breakdown of where the secret sauce is.
Yeah, so I mean, I have anything from $300,000 to $1 million. Anything in there we got, depending on location. We do condos. My first home was a condo before I worked for Edge Homes. They're 1,275 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, 9-foot ceilings. I do a lot of condos right now, especially with a lot of first-time home buyers or people downsizing. Condo is just kind of where you start, and we're super busy with those. We do a lot of townhomes. That's our bread and butter. And then single families and like smaller lots for people that don't necessarily want to do a ton of yard work. And then we do as big as half-acre lots in Mapleton with 3-car garages. But we're all over the place. It's down South Utah County, Mapleton. We got a Spanish Fork location coming. We've always been in Lehigh, Saratoga, Eagle Mountain, Bluffdale, and then as well as Harriman, Riverton. We're opening new neighborhoods in West Valley, South Jordan, West Jordan. We're all over the place right now.
So it seems like you might be migrating a little bit more north.
Yes, yeah. Like West Jordan, West Valley is new territory for us. We've never gone that far north, so it's been kind of fun. Yeah, it's a big spread, especially if I have an appointment in West Valley, and then I have an appointment in Mapleton. That's an hour long. That's an hour drive. So it's been fun to kind of spread out a little bit. Whereas the last 10 years, we've mostly just been in North Utah County, South Salt Lake County. So
right. So let me ask you this. I ended up buying a little Tesla because of running around. And it just popped in my mind where you're going from maybe West Jordan to Mapleton. I mean, you're right. That's not a small little commute. No. And if you go back and forth 2 or 3 times during the day, I mean, you're filling up at least once a day or twice a week, 3 times, 4 times a week. I don't know what you drive, but I keep the truck in the driveway and drive the car when I'm running around like that. What about you? And you're coming from Camas to boot.
Oh,
you're coming to Camas all the way to Mapleton and back up to West Jordan.
I do the same. My truck stays in the garage unless I'm pulling tractors or trailers, or I do a lot of hauling equipment. So the truck gets used, but I do have my Tesla that I bring down, and normally I can make it. If I leave my house at 80%, I'm down here. I can usually do West Valley to Mapleton, back up to Draper somewhere, and then back up without a charge. Now, if I do much more than that, I got to stop at one of the superchargers, but I can usually make that round trip as long as I leave with 80%. So,
okay, I'm just gonna dog on Tesla a little bit for just a second because I have one and I can do it. Yeah. I call it the Turdla. And here's why. Dude, I cannot stop looking at that stupid battery as it's just...
Oh, yeah.
And I've taken one extended trip, and I'll never do it again.
No, I don't ever take mine outside at like Utah County, Salt Lake County, Summit County. But yeah, I agree with you because it is like almost a little bit of anxiety when you look down and you're like 30%. I'm like, I better be close to a charger.
Well, quick story because it's not about me today, but I did that and ended up going to a Walmart parking lot because I heard there's a super station there. Well, they don't have the same connection. Went in to buy a connection. They only sell them online, and I had literally 17 miles to go, and the closest spot was north another 19 miles. So it turned off all electronics, went 55 miles an hour in the middle of the summer. Luckily, it wasn't cold because the battery performs worse when it's cold.
Yeah.
And I literally pulled in with 0 miles and vowed right then and there, I will never drive this any distance ever again.
That's hilarious. Yeah, God bless. I've heard if you run out, you're screwed. SOL. Yeah,
you're calling a tow truck and they're hauling you to a Tesla station. But
and it's
not to dog on them. They got great performance and they're a fun car. I do love a lot of things about them, but yeah, I'm not driving to Vegas. Yeah. I'm not driving anywhere in it. I'll drive down to the grocery store.
Primary car is a little tough. It would be tough.
Yeah, for sure. All right, back to Edge Homes. Sorry about that.
No, you're totally fine.
So, of the condos, the kind of the move-up home and the $1 million home, half an acre. What is your favorite product? I know which one you sell the most of, but what is your favorite product?
Oh gosh, I don't know because it's hard because my first home being the condo, I love seeing people get in those condos. I love them, and a lot of times if I can find one with a view, I get so stoked about those. And then I love my townhomes. My favorite that I don't ever get to really do much anymore is We have a floor plan that's got it's called a Paisley. If you ever on the Edge Homes website, it's basically two big bedrooms on the main floor, two like en suites with like it's just like a big rambler. It's like a 3,500 square foot 2-bedroom rambler that's awesome. And you don't, yeah, I mean, you don't see it very much just because like there's very few people that works for unless you're like, you know, you're retiring and you just need
Right.
one guest suite.
Right.
But it's a beautiful floor plan. We just don't do a lot of them. But that would be my all-time favorite.
So the
yeah.
Paisley in the regular home is your favorite.
Yes, and like I said, I do one a year maybe, but they're my favorite.
So speaking of condos or townhomes, you know, yeah, we talked to a lot of first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers, you know, they can't necessarily afford, obviously, a move-up house. They just can't. They don't have the equity. They don't have the down payment. So they're buying a condo. They're buying a townhome. I believe over the last 3 years, pricing in those hasn't been very... I mean, it's been pretty static on pricing, I just want to say, just because you can't have a home that someone bought 6 months ago that now all of a sudden is $30,000 higher. So I believe the pricing has been pretty static, or if not, just very, very minimal increases. And I think what we see, 1.2% appreciation in Utah for the last year is kind of what I just heard. Yeah. Obviously, as that continues to, you know, rates go down, economy gets a little bit better, maybe appreciation starts to rise up. As an investment for a first-time home buyer, they buy a condo, they buy a townhome. How long do they typically have to wait, do you think, in order for them to move into their next house? Because you want to sell them their next house through Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to be in that move-up range.
Yeah, and crazy enough, Edge has one of the highest statistics. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's 35% of people that buy a condo or a townhome will end up buying a single family with Edge.
Oh, that's amazing.
35%.
That's a big number.
I can't remember the exact number, but it's right around there. But I would say that number has changed recently. Like, it used to be 1 or 2 years, and now I'm seeing 3 and 4 years. 3 or 4 years to just because, like you said, prices have been stagnant. If you want to sell and move up, it's going to take you a couple more years to get that appreciation. Same with moving out and renting. That's what I've always done. Just because those rates have been a little higher, and if you're bringing 5% down, you might be pretty close after a couple years of breaking even. But the way I look at it, it's a great retirement savings plan. If you're breaking even on a house, someone's paying down that mortgage for you.
Right.
Especially if you're only bringing 5 or 10% down on it.
And you get 9% concessions.
Yeah, and then taxes going forward, you save money. Like when you move out and you rent out that house that you started with, you're saving taxes moving forward. It's a great investment strategy. That's basically and kind of a little bit of what I did is I bought that first condo before I worked at Edge. I rented it out. So back then my payment was, and this is 2017.
Do I have to mute this while you say that because people are going to fall off their chair?
Oh, I was so worried. It was $1,350, and that was so high for a condo back then. And the rents were only $1,000. So I was like, okay, if I rent it out, I'm losing $300 a month. Well, fast forward, I rented that one out. I refinanced. Now my payment's $950. I rent it for $1,900, and then I moved into my townhome, did 5% down, and then moved into another townhome 5% down, and then a third townhome 5% down, and then all those became investments. And I don't make a ton of money monthly on them, but I do make money, and they also are really nice.
But in the grand scheme of things, you're making money because of appreciation, reduction of your mortgage balance. They've got good interest rates.
And tax savings, yeah.
And tax savings. So,
yeah.
I mean, long term, you're building wealth with that. It's a great analogy. It's a great strategy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I love my townhomes and condos. And the townhomes from Edge are beautiful. 20-foot ceilings in the masters, or in the living spaces. They feel like single families when you're in them.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right. So, as a realtor, I like to take buyers to new builds. And I've always wondered this. I mean, the incentive's there to use their lender. That's great. But Edge is not going to give necessarily a discount to a buyer if they just come and show up at the at the model home without a realtor. Is it not realtor to realtor, not edge to a different thing, but realtor to realtor? Doesn't it make sense for a buyer to have representation to look out for them? You work for the builder. You don't work for the client.
So Edge does not change incentives. If you come in with an agent or you come in by yourself, the price remains the same. They don't give any more money. And honestly, as a seller's agent, I would rather work with represented buyers because, you know, if you one, you want your own representation, and then two, my life is a lot easier with a buyer.
If you're doing both sides of the transaction, that could get a little hairy. And I know you
I
sell a lot of homes.
Yeah, and I make zero money more when I do it. It's just way better to have. Exactly. I would much rather have buyers come in with buyer agents. Yep.
You heard it here first with Riley. He says, have a buyer's agent represent you. You're not getting a discount. And by the way, it just adds more work to his plate.
Yep.
Still getting the same house.
I have friends call me all the time that were looking in other states, other builders, whatever, and my friends will say, do I go in without an agent? I say, absolutely not. If you're a friend of mine, that's the last advice I'm giving you. So.
Get representation and take it to you. And with that, we probably should just say sponsored by Red Bull and Bad Decisions, right?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So one last question, then I'm going to let you go because I know you're a busy guy, and we've been at this for about 21 minutes. 2026 predictions for rates as well as, you know, economic activity in the new build market.
Yeah. So take it. I mean, my opinion. I was saying in 2024, hey, rates are coming down. So that was 2 years ago. But it sounds to me like rates are coming down. I think the market is going to be very similar in 26 to 25. I think it's going to be going up quicker than 25. But I think interest rates are coming down. Affordability is going to be coming down as well. I think 2026 is the time to buy a home. If you're trying to get in before interest rates really come down and pricing starts going up again.
Yeah. Well, with that, I agree with you. I mean, at a 9% concession, seller concessions, I think it's an amazing time right now for them to actually look, contact us, obviously, subscribe, reach out. My number is 801-641-8788. Riley, what's your number?
435-640-2667.
Okay.
If you call me, I'm directing you back to Craig.
Call those numbers because we need to make sure and take advantage of these 9% concessions. It's a great time and a great way to get into a great house, whether it's a condo, whether it's a townhome, or whether it's that really nice house down in Mapleton we were talking about.
Yep.
And, obviously we can do whatever we can with that. Riley, I appreciate you taking the time today and talking to us. I think this was awesome. I think there was some really good information there. Is there anything else that you would like to say to anybody out there as far as real estate and mortgage?
There's never like the perfect time to buy real estate, and there's never the worst time to buy real estate. You just got to buy real estate and then let it do the work for you in the future. So
what I'm hearing you say is the best time was yesterday to buy.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yesterday. Riley, I appreciate it. Let's see if we can end with some decent music here. Oh, what do we want here? I guess a little AC/DC, Who Made Who?
There we go.
Edge made it. Come on, baby. We know who made it. It was Edge. Edge Homes.
That's awesome.
Riley, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, man.
Take care.
Thanks for having me. See you later.
You bet. No problem.